Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a diehard fan of Street Outlaws, buckle up, because what I'm about to share is the kind of racing news that gets your blood pumping. Imagine three of the biggest names in street racing, Murder Nova, Ryan Martin, and Jeff Lutz, rolling deep into Toronto Motorsports Park for a showdown unlike anything we've seen north of the border. That's not just a race, it's a statement. Let me tell you how this story unfolds. It all starts with a surprise announcement. Sean Ellington, better known to all of us as Murder Nova, along with Ryan Martin and Jeff Lutz, are heading to Canada this month, and they're not coming empty-handed. We're talking about a full-on, tire-smoking, wheel-standing invasion of Canadian asphalt. And they're bringing both big tire and small tire weapons to the battlefield. This isn't just a test hit. This is a full-scale assault on the drag strip. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. The plan is for Ryan Martin to pilot the Phoenix Camaro on small tires, Jeff Lutz to bring out the revamped 57 Chevy, and Sean Ellington to throw down in the OG Murder Nova, also set up for small tire action. That's a combination of cars and drivers that could shut down any street or track in America. So to see it happening in Canada, that's special. Toronto Motorsports Park was originally set to be a speed promotions event, and when it got canceled last time, fans were bummed. But now, it's back on, and this time the Street Outlaws themselves are teaming up with the track and local organizers to make it happen. This isn't just some regional meetup. This is a world-class street racing experience coming to life in Canada. And judging from the crowds they pulled last year, the energy is going to be absolutely electric. What's also awesome is that it sounds like Canadian racers are going to be part of the show. That's right, locals will likely line up to race these outlaws on the same surface. Can you imagine being a grassroots Canadian racer, and suddenly you're staging against Murder Nova or Ryan Martin? That's the stuff drag racing dreams are made of. It's not just about watching, it's about being part of it. Now let's talk small tire for a second, because this isn't just a novelty. These cars aren't just fast, they're wicked fast. Murder Nova's OG car is no joke on small tires. Remember the $100,000 to win race not long ago? Sean made serious waves at that event. He may have gotten edged out by Daddy Dave, but his performance proved one thing loud and clear. He's just as deadly on small tires as he is on big ones. And if that car's dialed in on radials for prep, watch out. And speaking of radials and prep, there's a lot of buzz about whether these same cars are being set up for Gallus $100,000 to win radio prep race coming soon. That's the kind of big money, big prep event that draws the best of the best. Rumors are already swirling that Murder Nova and Jeff Lutz will be part of it. In fact, there's supposed to be a live stream with Sean and Jeff on the Street Promotions Facebook page, giving fans more insight into the build strategy and race plans. If you're serious about this stuff, you're going to want to tune in for that. Back to Canada, Ryan Martin's choice of car is an interesting one. He's running the Phoenix Camaro, not the Fireball. And while that Phoenix build is no slouch, it does raise some questions. Will he stick with Phoenix for the radio prep race? Or will he bring out the Fireball Camaro when the grip level demands more precision and horsepower? Everyone knows the Fireball Camaro is a weapon on a sticky track. But maybe Ryan has something up his sleeve. Maybe he's keeping us guessing. And maybe he wants to prove the Phoenix is just as lethal. Then there's Jeff Lutz with the new 57 Chevy. This car, let me tell you, is something else. Twin turbo Hemi under the hood, pumping out over 5,000 horsepower. On paper, it's an absolute monster. But at the $100,000 small tire no prep race, things didn't go exactly as planned. He made it to the second round, but got knocked out. And in this game, that happens. But if Jeff and his team make the right adjustments, and you know they're working night and day, this car could easily be a top contender. All it takes is one pass for everything to click. What really fires me up about this entire Canada push is that it's about more than just putting on a show. It's about expanding the sport, building new fan bases, and breaking down the idea that world-class street racing only belongs in the US-Canada showed up in force last year. And now they're getting a second chance to see what Street Outlaws is all about, live and in person. Now let's talk about the fan experience, because that's something that sets these events apart. When the Street Outlaws crew rolls into town, it's not just a race. It's an event, a full-throttle festival of horsepower. You'll see the pits packed, kids meeting their heroes, grown men acting like kids again, and fans getting up close with some of the baddest machines on four wheels. It's more than just standing in the bleachers. It's being part of the culture, the lifestyle, and the legacy that this show has built over the last decade. One of the most exciting parts about these matchups in Canada is the unpredictability. When these outlaw legends line up against local Canadian racers, many of whom are super competitive in their own right, it becomes a test of tuning, driving, and raw instinct. Some of these homegrown racers might not have TV deals or flashy trailers, but you better believe they know how to lay down a number. We've seen time and again that it only takes one bad pass or one killer local tune-up to flip the script. And don't count out the possibility of some big upsets. That's what racing is all about. Sometimes the biggest horsepower and the most fame can't stop a hardworking, dialed-in, hometown racer from taking the win light. Whether it's on a tricky small tire surface or a marginal prep track, we've seen lesser-known racers take down heavyweights when the conditions are right. Could that happen in Toronto? You bet. And honestly, part of me hopes we see one or two wild cards step up and make it a fight. Also, keep an eye on how the Outlaws adapt to these conditions. Canada's tracks can be a little different than what they're used to back in the States. The weather, altitude, and surface prep all factor in. That's going to test not just the power under the hood, but the brains behind the tuning laptops. Ryan Martin, Murder Nova, and Jeff Lutz all have championship-level crews, and they're going to need every bit of that knowledge to adjust fast and strike when the light drops. Another thing I love about this event is that they're bringing a mix of small and big tire cars. That gives fans a chance to see the evolution of these machines in action. You'll see the same drivers handling completely different cars with different strategies. Small tire racing is all about finesse, weight transfer, and managing power. Big tire is about putting everything down and going all out. Watching these guys switch gears literally and figuratively gives you an appreciation for how talented they really are. And speaking of switching gears, let's circle back to the OG Murder Nova. That car is one of the most iconic builds in Street Outlaws history, and seeing it still out there racing competitively on small tires speaks volumes about Sean's passion and commitment to the sport. He's not chasing trends, he's refining a legend. Every time that car rolls out of the trailer, it brings history with it. But it's also got the modern power, tech, and setup to throw down with anything out there. Jeff Lutz, too, is making waves with his 57 build. That car is still in its early evolution, and we haven't seen its full potential yet. The twin-turbo Hemi setup has enough power to blow the doors off anything on the track. It's just a matter of dialing it in, finding the sweet spot, and getting the consistency. Once Jeff finds that rhythm, that car is going to be a serious threat anywhere it goes, especially in races like the one coming up in Toronto. So as we gear up for this Canadian adventure, I'll leave you with this. Street Outlaws isn't just a show, it's a movement. It's guys like Sean, Ryan, and Jeff who keep pushing the envelope, traveling across borders, and proving that real racers race anywhere. Whether they're on big tires, small tires, radials, no prep, or fully prepped, they show up, put on a show, and leave it all on the line. And now they're taking that fire to Canada. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.